survive to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I got to get used to people seeing me on YouTube because the more people see me on YouTube, the less I can hide. You know what I'm saying? The less I can just pretend, right? Ugh. The less I can pretend like I'm not here. Or what you looking at? I still did it. I quit. You ever try to log on to something and every time you did it, you pressed a button that was wrong? And then it, yeah, so. Okay. Restart. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I was looking at a story today that kind of made me wonder what exactly the person was arguing about. And so instead of doing that, I thought I would just read the story and talk about the fact that Milwaukee is about to change. So there's a story that's on all the major news channels, stations, about an ICE detention facility in Milwaukee. And so I said this the other day, and I said it not knowing that somebody was going to come in, sorry about that somebody was going to come in and actually prove
that they're doing something I talked about the other day that I complained about, but people told me I really didn't know what I was talking about. It's about people putting ideology over common sense. It's about people, no matter what, putting ideology in a place that overrides just plain old, regular, polyunsaturated common sense. And I don't understand why. And I don't understand why people get upset about it. Because in the end, doing what's right, I think, is more important. But nobody listens to that. We listen to our ideology. From WISN.com, Alderwoman Larissa Taylor said ICE exemption allows it to avoid city approval for plans to modify building to include a Sally Port chain link fence to transport prisoners to and from the facility. Milwaukee Alderwoman Larissa Taylor said the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement is exercising a federal exemption, allowing the agency to avoid city approval to build a facility to become a detention facility. Initially, I thought this was not something that I wanted to sponsor in our district. However, we were not given the choice. You don't have to be given the choice. They're the federal government. They have a right to do some things the way they want to do it, and there's nothing you can do. Modifications to the property near the intersection of Lake Park Drive and Park Place would include a Sally Port with a chain link fence to transport prisoners to and from the facility, a press release from Taylor's office indicated. Right? If you go online, you can go to any major news outlet and read the press release. Taylor said the building's owner initially reached out to her office for support for the project in early December. She says she has since learned ICE is able to apply the exemption and move forward with plans without public input. It's important as a representative to let residents know of the district, know what's happening around them, which is true, I guess. But this entity is able to move in without a bypass and bypass the local zoning laws. I think it's only right that they know that this happened. So here's my question. You ready? You ready? Why are you complaining about it? What's the problem that you're having about it? A spokesperson for Mayor Cavalier Johnson said they had no idea. The city has no indication that the building will be used as a detention facility. In a taping, Johnson responded to questions about President-elect Donald Trump's plans for mass deportation and said, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if this is real or this is fluff. I don't know what he's going to do. Nobody does. Taylor declined to comment on whether she thought the facility modifications were connected to Trump's plans. She planned to discuss the project during a news conference, which was held this afternoon, and I'm waiting for an update about that. The bottom line is you can't stop it. The question is, what exactly are you stopping? Because you keep saying you talk to people and people are fearful that their families are going to disappear. Well, first of all, if you're here legally, why would you be scared? If you're here illegally, don't commit a crime, and odds are you won't. But don't act like they have rights and they get to be held to this high esteem or high standard when you're not even a citizen here. Why won't you care, Alderwoman Taylor, about the crap that's going on around the city now? Care about that the way you care about a detention facility that just might, I don't know, create a few jobs in the neighborhood. Yeah, but we don't want to know about that. We prefer to complain about stuff that we can't do anything about and then say we did something and then run for re-election. And I'm not saying that's what she's doing. What I'm saying is that we have a host of politicians in Milwaukee that seem to think that their ideological ideas, and I still haven't heard why you don't want it there. Not everybody gets input. Watch this. I bet if the governor's office did it, you wouldn't be complaining because he's a Democrat. I bet you wouldn't be complaining about that. You'd follow party politics to the very end, even when it cuts off your nose and spites your face. But we pretend like that doesn't happen. That's the issue I'm having. If you could have this much push back on crime and shootings and all sorts of things, and here's the other thing. For aldermen and women to not talk about things that are outside of their district but inside the city is insulting, because you represent people in your constituency, but you're paid for by the city. Because if that's the case, then we need to adjust everybody's income based on their constituency in their district, and then we'll pay you like $1 per person, see what happens. See, we don't want to do that. We just want to make sure everybody gets the same pay, even though some districts are bigger, smaller, all that. But in the end, there's nothing you can do about it. Number two, if you didn't do anything wrong as it relates to immigration, why would you be scared? They'll have more than enough time, the Trump administration, to get rid of people who actually commit crimes and need to be deported. But if you're here illegally and you don't commit a crime, odds are you're not going to be in custody. And that's that. Local police are not going to pick you up. The sheriff's department is not going to pick you up. So the only thing you're complaining about is they didn't ask you? They don't have to. I'm just weirded out by all the things in the city that are going on that are negative, and this was picked. That's it? That's all? You know, in California, we keep talking. Somebody in California, by the way, they're arresting other people today about the fires and all that stuff and starting fires. Somebody out there singing "Burn, Baby, Burn." Well, I got to tell you, if it brings one job to the north side of Milwaukee, to your district, Alderwoman, you ought to be singing "Build, Baby, Build."
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Join the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee on January 20th for the 28th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 8 a.m. Come together as a community to reflect on Dr. King's powerful legacy, celebrate the creativity of our youth, and be inspired by moving performances and speakers. This will be a day of inspiration, connection, and service, one you won't want to miss. For more information, visit ymcamke.org/MLK. Can't wait to see you there.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number in the studio. I have none other than the guy I like to harass with and all around. No, I'm just kidding. He's a very well-known president and CEO, bigwig, grand poobah of the American Red Cross of Southeastern Wisconsin, Mr. Mark Thomas. How are you, sir?
I am doing great, Dr. Ken. And I feel so good because it's been a while since I had to take some abuse, verbal abuse from you.
Yes.
And can I just start by saying it's cold out there, man. The hawk is out.
Okay, first of all, the hawk is present in Chicago only.
No. The hawk.
I don't know what y'all got up here.
Something is out there.
Right.
And it's cold.
The unfortunate part of that is both you and I were in Arizona at the same time, and we had to come back to this.
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't really.
But we love Milwaukee. We love Wisconsin.
Yes. Don't tell nobody.
Come on, we have to say that.
You messed up my reputation.
You put my business out in the street that I was in a warm climate. I'm telling everybody I'm up here freezing.
Yeah, but you're always different places. You be in Arizona, you be in California, you be in New York, you be in Florida.
At the American Red Cross, we go wherever they need.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And really, that's why I wanted you in today, because helping people understand what's going on in California and the fires and just what really happens when there's a disaster. We normally hear about it in the summertime when somebody's house or a block, or God forbid, 2 or 3 blocks burn up in Milwaukee, and the Red Cross comes out, and you see the little folks giving hot chocolate. But there's a whole infrastructure behind that internationally that helps people in very specific instances like the Los Angeles fires. And so can you just give us an overview of what is it that the American Red Cross does?
Yeah, I know we have a small amount of time, so I'm going to try to break it down as best I can. We are a worldwide organization primarily made up of volunteers. Did you know 90% of our workforce is volunteers? So there's thousands of volunteers strategically placed throughout cities, large and small, rural areas, on native land, all over the country. So these volunteers, they want to help in any way that they can.
Right.
Some of them simply just show up at a blood drive and they just help check people in.
Right.
A lot of other people want to be trained, and I use that word trained, to go help during disasters. And so if there's a hurricane in Florida or a fire in Southern California, our trained staff, we do have staff and volunteers, go to those affected areas and help. So, for instance, in California right now, over 400 Red Crossers are out there.
Wow.
And we're doing a plethora of things from managing very large shelters like at, the civic centers and whatnot, feeding people, passing out other items, water, the necessities that people don't have. But we're also helping them with their other needs, their housing needs, mental health, and just reunification. There's still people that we are unaccounted for. So the Red Cross, in one of their many roles, will set up a reunification center where people can get information about their lost loved one.
And so people can come there, plus they can give information there.
Right. We work with local emergency management, law enforcement, and others to be the conduit for that information. And because of, the fact that we've been around for over 150 years and our brand is so strong, we're trusted partners and advisors to those entities.
And so basically you can just put the sign up, stick a flag in the ground, and people know that it's a trusted organization.
Yes, I'll tell you this. Wearing the American Red Cross, like on your person, a T-shirt, a shirt, driving in one of the vehicles, that really does mean something and matter. Now, I've been there 6 years, and I didn't know the power of the Red Cross brand until I started working there. I went to a gas station once, and I was in a Red Cross vehicle in the middle part of the state, and a person ran up to me. And I didn't know, coming from the city, somebody run up to you in the gas station, you kind of say, okay, this could be anything, right?
Right.
So the person addressed me, and he said, Red Cross, Red Cross. And I said, yeah. And he just took his wallet out, and he had probably like $9. He kept $2, and he gave me $7. He said, I know this isn't much, but I want to thank you for everything you folks doing. Can you contribute this to the mission? And I gave it back to him. I said, no, we're good. He said, no, I really want to help. And he told me a story about his sister who lost her home due to a fire. But it's that, this person, unannounced, walked up to me in the central part of Wisconsin. Right. Granted, it was only $7, but he gave me his money because he knew that he could trust that I was going to do the right thing with it.
Well, $7 is a lot of money when you think about it. When you think about be $7 short for anything you want to buy.
They're not going to round up.
They're not going to round up. And it sounds silly, but if 10,000 people gave you $7, that's significant.
That's very significant.
And those are some of the things people need to remember, that no matter how small, you can always call the American Red Cross to go.
Yeah. And I will just say that, of course, we surely appreciate and would take all financial donations. But I go back to 90% of our workforce is volunteer. If someone can donate their time, it's just as valuable. And something we haven't talked about, but maybe we will, blood.
Absolutely.
Donating blood is just like donating money. So there's quickly 3 ways that you can give. Of course, you can give me $7. You can make a donation of blood, or you can figure out how you can mobilize people in your community to donate their time.
Okay. And so we don't have to mobilize people to do blood or do a blood drive. We can mobilize people and say, we want to take a weekend or a week or whatever, and we want to volunteer. Whatever you need, whatever happens, we're there.
Yes.
Wow.
And there's multiple ways to do that. So we started talking about the California wildfires. Right. I have to tell you that we have fires here locally pretty much every day.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them are very small single family homes, but sometimes they're large apartment fires.
Right.
Did you know that if there's a fire at an apartment in the middle of the night and 20 people are displaced, second behind the fire department is the Red Cross?
Yes.
Because we are responsible to try to help them find safe housing for that night and the upcoming ensuing days. And so trained volunteers that can be on call to go out and help those folks to safety is something that we desperately need. And we will train you to be a volunteer. And basically you can pick and choose how many days a month you'd like to be on call, and we would only call you in the case of an emergency.
So how do you gather resources? Beyond the money and the personnel, right? How do you gather resources? That has to take a lot of cars and a lot of gas and a lot of needles and a lot of rubber stuff and gloves and all that. Like, how do you gather all those things? Because you never know when something's going to happen, but then when it happens, you have to already have it.
Right. I once worked at a company, and I worked for the CFO, and I'll never forget having a conversation with this person about buying. I was in the purchasing department, and there was one of our vendors who wanted to sell us a large quantity of goods at a greatly reduced price. And I said, look, we're going to save the company money, and this would be great if we can warehouse this. And he sternly told me that we are not in the business of just because. We have it just because, or just in case we need it. Right. He said, we want to have it just in time. And so we bypassed on that purchase, and when we needed something, we bought it. The difference in the Red Cross in that organization is I don't have time to tell you and your family at 2 o'clock in the morning that we don't have any supplies for you if you just lost your house.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Ken. Let me get back to you in 2 days when I can go to Chicago and get you a blanket or get you some water or get your medicine.
Right.
So our business motto is we have to be prepared.
Right.
And so all over the country, we have warehouses where there's Red Cross necessities, blankets, cots. We can set up a shelter within hours, not within days, and have the necessities. We have different food partners throughout the local community and nationally that will come in. Marquette University, for instance, will help us feed large quantities of individuals if we have to open up a shelter. So we take those financial donations, we buy those supplies, but we also have partners all over the state, all over the country that will give us in-kind donations. There are people that have their names on the side of our vehicle because they made a donation of a dealer or Ford dealership or something like that.
So I want to dive into how do you deal with something that's as massive as California? I can't imagine, other than New Orleans and a couple of hurricanes that came close, but in my lifetime, I haven't seen anything like Los Angeles in a major metropolitan area where there's a combination of politicians at fault, residents at fault, laws at fault, and unfortunately, no rain.
Right.
And so how do you and when we come back, I want to dive into the phone rings. Start out with the phone rings and there's a fire in Los Angeles. How does southeastern Wisconsin help fire in Los Angeles or Memphis or New York City or wherever?
Good.
Our guest is CEO and president. You're still Grand Poobah, right? The greatest of
Chief Cook and Bottle
Chief
Washer.
Cook and Bottle Washer of the American Red Cross of Southeastern Wisconsin, Mark Thomas. We'll be right back. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Earlier accident on eastbound 94 at Highway G in Waukesha County has been cleared. The delays have not. It is solid all the way back to Highway 83, so heads up with that. A little bit past that, we've got a broken down vehicle eastbound 94 right about at Barker Road. Luckily, this one is out of traffic on the right, just something you want to keep an eye out for. We've also got an accident on 894 southbound right about at Beloit Road. This one is off on the right shoulder. Minimal delays around that one. Otherwise, westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backed up from 76th Street all the way through to 35th. Southbound 43's got some backups from Keefe down to Locust. Back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up and around the North Avenue curve. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Snow showers, less than an inch of accumulation. It'll be breezy with a low of 20. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 36. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks got a bounce-back win last night as they dominate the Kings wire-to-wire for the 130-115 victory.
18-point lead for the Bucks again. Giannis the other way. Spins around his man. Drives in and punishes the rim as he punches it through with a left-hand jam.
Giannis finishing the game with 33 points, 11 boards, and 13 assists as the Bucks, with the win, improving to 21-17. They'll turn right around and welcome in the Orlando Magic tonight. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Over to college hoops, where the 7th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles held on late over DePaul for the 85-83 win. They'll return back home Saturday to host Xavier. And sticking with college hoops, the 24th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers also squeaking out a victory. This one over Ohio State by a final of 70-68. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. My guest is Mark Thomas, President and CEO of the American Red Cross of Southeastern Wisconsin. I have to be transparent. I used to sit on that board. Mark used to beat me up every week. Ken, why aren't you doing this? Had me on like 9,000 committees and doing all kind of stuff. Give me your money. And just roughed me up for about 3 years. And it was 3 of the best years I've ever had, because every single time we met, out of the 100% of the agenda, about 75% of it I went, what? Because it was something I didn't know. Because there was always something different happening in the city. There was always something different happening in the state, Illinois, all those things. And sometimes it's just kept quiet and you don't hear about it. But you guys are like rolling 24 hours a day. But then something like LA hits. And so you're the president here. What happens here when a fire like that breaks out in Los Angeles?
So let me start by saying that all of us at the American Red Cross, our thoughts and prayers, our hearts just go out to all the people affected, all the families who have lost everything, including folks who have lost their life. And I just I would be remiss if I didn't say that, we are thinking of them on a daily basis. So when that disaster strikes, our local teams mobilize as quickly as possible. But in many cases on these large hurricanes, or in this case, the large fire, they don't have the people power to manage that. So we have a very intricate call-out system nationally where we put the call out. And we can quickly assess what's going on the ground in L.A., and they will say, fire. We're going to need sheltering operations. So that's a trigger word to say we need people trained in sheltering. And so they'll put the call out, we need shelter workers. If we have, in this case, loss of life, they'll say we need possibly mental and spiritual care because people dealing with the trauma. So
now, do they get there themselves if they're in Asheville, North Carolina, and they want to go to L.A., or do you guys ship them out there, or how's that work?
We cover all the costs of our volunteers getting where they come and go. And again, shout out to not just our sponsors and corporations and foundations, but the person, like I mentioned in the opening segment, who gives us $7, or the little kid who takes up a collection. We had a young lady came. She lives in Fox Point. And for her birthday, she wanted to take up a collection. She went around her neighborhood. She had a coffee can. It had about $50 in it. Wow. And she came down to our offices and just dropped it off because that's what she wanted to do. But it's those types of donations that allow us to put people on planes quickly. And I would also say, we have donors that donate miles. Now, a big traveler like yourself, you're probably sitting on 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 miles. You could donate some of those miles to the American Red Cross, and that'll help get people to California just as fast. So we pay for their costs. We pay for their lodging, if you will. But keep in mind, this isn't a vacation they're going on.
No, it's not.
They're working 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And in the case of hurricane or power outage, they're not staying in a hotel because there is no hotel for miles, right? And so
good point.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes they have to drive 100 miles to go to sleep, and then they come back every day because the affected zone is basically shut down.
Right.
And so in this case, I know that we have staff shelters set up, probably like at a local college. So they might be sharing a dorm room with some other volunteers.
Yeah.
Many of our volunteers will tell you about staying on the floor of the flight serve, right?
Yeah.
And we just set up cots for them.
Yeah.
And they do their 12-hour shift, and they come back. And we ask them to make a serious commitment, 10 or more days. So a lot of them are there for 2 weeks in a row servicing. So yes, the call goes out. We put the call out nationally. Right now, there are 9 people from the state of Wisconsin in Southern California, and probably another 10 or 20 in the queue just ready to go. Again, keep in mind, this operation is not going to end Friday. We are going to be there for months.
Right.
I may end up going in 2 or 3 weeks because there's so many other jobs that we need. We have to keep the media apprised of our work, talking to local politicians. So we'll have a person that is just a liaison for government officials working daily to update them on what's happening.
And so you start out in a phase, right? You have the call up, everybody goes, they show up, it's been X amount of days, and now you're coming to the end. How do you like go in reverse? How do you end all this? How do you put this to the end?
So I'll talk about how a person ends their shift. So if you were there in phase 1, at the end of your 14 days, we just send out the orders, you get deployed, we get you a plane to come back. But if I'm your replacement, ideally I get out there on the 13th day. So the last day you and I work together.
We transition
just like at a hospital.
Okay.
When the nurses and doctors.
Got to give a report.
So you're going to clue me in on what's going on, what I need to know. And then you get outplaced. You come back. And then we immediately give our volunteers time to breathe. So we don't deploy you upon coming back. You get X amount of days to decompress on your own. And then we follow up with them with our own internal resources, our mental health experts. We check on you because obviously you were there on the ground. You've seen it. You've heard it. You've heard lots of stories. So you're traumatized. And so we want to be very sensitive to that. But that's how we transition there. At the end of the phase, 3 months, 4 months from now.
And so they've been in California since last week.
Yes.
And they've had 1, 2, 3, now they're up to 6. Santa Ana winds came through last night. Now they've got more fires breaking out. We may be there another week or so. maybe.
Oh, Red Cross will be there.
I'm just trying to be nice, but y'all could probably be there for like 6 months.
For a month. Right. So
because
now,
you have people that don't literally have anywhere to go.
Right. 92,000 to be exact.
Wow.
That's how many we had as of yesterday. We're under mandatory evacuation. At our shelter last night, we had 700 people in the shelter, but that's people that didn't have anywhere else to go.
Right.
And during the day, we still serve people that might be staying with a loved one or a friend
who came out for food and drink and all that.
All of that, because we're helping them get their driver's license, reinstitute their birth certificates and whatnot. So there's multiple intersections, if you will. But the shelter is basic needs: food, shelter, a roof over your head, and making sure that people have a plan. One of the things I'm proud of is that we don't ask a lot of questions. And so you can imagine in Southern California, there's U.S. citizens, and there's probably people who are not U.S. citizens.
Right.
The American Red Cross, we're very independent.
Doesn't care.
We don't care. We help.
It's human life.
If you show up, it's a humanitarian situation, and we're proud of that. And so we'll take care of folks who show up. I lost my medicine in the fire. Mm-hmm. So, we're trying to help them figure out if they're like me and you take multiple medications, and if you don't know them, we have to figure out who you're working with. Where's your pharmacy? See how we can partner with a Walgreens or CVS to get you your medicine. Because you can't go 6 weeks without taking your medicine. Yeah. You'd end up like Dr. Ken, just saying anything.
And getting paid for it.
So I mean, just a plethora of things that are going on. But I also want to make sure the audience understands that for as much as what's going on in Southern California right now, there's a fire on the south side last night.
Right.
There's a fire in Waukesha yesterday. Right. And these people matter, and they have feeling it just as much as the folks in California. And so we're here and prepared and willing and ready to help them. The last 5 months have been quite challenging. So I can hearken you back to Hurricane Helene.
Oh, yeah.
And Milton, right?
Yep.
So that was a huge impact for the American Red Cross and the people in Wisconsin. By the way, we deal with mass casualties. So the shooting in Madison, the Red Cross was on the ground, still is on the ground, working with families, teachers, students, and local law enforcement dealing with the trauma. I was there personally the first 2 days at the Reunification Center. And so these things are all happening, you might hear about them for a couple of days.
And then they go away and the news cycle changes.
And then the news cycle changes. So yes, California's big, but there's all types of weather. Right now we have storms that just blasted the central part of the United States, shutting down blood drives. That's causing a pinch on our blood supply.
So can I keep you one more segment? Just one more.
Anybody who serves on my board for 3 years and didn't fire me, I'll stay for another segment.
And the reason I say that is because I want to talk about blood. I want to dive into the what and the why, and we got Black History Month coming up, and we got other things coming up throughout the year for American Red Cross. I want to talk about that.
Absolutely.
All right. It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year. Means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affect disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days like today that are on the horizon. And, we may all just want to be snugly and warm at home, and that's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family to a cozy home. That's thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out, and Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, but you got to hurry. You only have until January 31st. You got 16 days to score Pella's New Year special. That's 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee on January 20th for the 28th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 8 a.m. Come together as a community to reflect on Dr. King's powerful legacy, celebrate the creativity of our youth, and be inspired by moving performances and speakers. This will be a day of inspiration, connection, and service, one you won't want to miss. For more information, visit ymcamke.org/MLK. Can't wait to see you there.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
This is 1017 The Truth's Tori Lowe, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe the people who listen to the Tori Lowe Show are ready for real change in the community and love to bring all the smoke. Tap in, Truth Nation, to the Tori Lowe Show every day from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The movement continues. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, sometimes I tease people when I say them because I have ADHD and I get distracted. Like, literally, he could say something or move his hand and everything gone. Like, I could be in the middle of saying, like, people laugh at me. By the way, friends of mine laugh at me.
No,
I'll be in the middle.
We laugh with you.
You mean like, oh, okay. So I'll be in the middle of giving the phone number, and somebody will say something or do something or move, and if it distracts me, I won't even remember where I was in the phone number. Go ahead and laugh.
I'm laughing for this reason, because I was so taken by the re-entry music. You know, I almost felt like taking over the show. You know how they say, there you go, play that again, man. They were playing that Roy Ayers, My Life in the Sunshine.
Yes, sir.
I'm like,
yes, sir.
That's my kind of music.
Yes,
right there.
sir, it is.
Turn it up.
That's what it is. That's why we do it. And so, you know, as you age, you start to notice things that when you're younger, it doesn't really click about importance, right? Because you're going to live forever, right? You're going to be forever. You ain't going to never get hurt. Ain't nothing going to ever happen. And then all of a sudden, there's that incident and you need blood. In my entire life, I've never not thought of American Red Cross. And of course, you did a great job talking about all the disaster relief stuff, but a lot of people still don't know that you do blood.
We started out over 150 years ago working with our military families, and we've been doing that since day one. But shortly after that, we started collecting blood. 40% of the nation's blood is collected at a Red Cross blood drive.
Wow.
Did you know that every 2 seconds, someone needs blood?
Now I do.
Could be anything. Could be a young person who got hit on a bike and is having surgery.
Right.
A female who's delivering a baby. Of course, if somebody were to be shot or cut or harmed and they needed surgery, they're going to have that blood on the shelves. And you need to have the blood to save a life. And so we are very proud of the fact that 40% of all of that blood comes from some blood drive that was sponsored by someone working with the Red Cross.
And so really anybody can sponsor a blood drive. Any organization, any church, can say, we want to, for whatever reason, have a blood drive, and you will come in and sit with them and see if all of the information jives with being able to generate enough people to do a blood drive.
And I want to make clear that the fact that we use the phrase sponsor a blood drive doesn't mean you have to write a check.
Correct.
Sponsoring a blood drive means that you're willing to host.
Right.
So your church, if your church said we want to sponsor a blood drive, we'll come in, talk with you. We'll try to set up a mutually agreed upon date. And we say, okay, we're going to have a blood drive on Tuesday, March 15th from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. And then your responsibility or your commitment, if you will, is to say, we will sponsor this blood drive by talking to all of our church members and letting them know and encouraging them to come out and sign up to donate blood. That's about as simple as it is. Red Cross does all of the legwork. We bring in the equipment. We set up the beds. We do the check-in. We collect the blood, of course, and then we transport it to where it needs to go. So, yes, a person can sponsor it in honor of someone, alive or deceased. They can do it in honor of cause like sickle cell. Do it during Sickle Cell Month or do it during American Heart Association Month. You can sponsor a blood drive. You can do it. A lot of fraternities, sororities, and schools, they do competitions. So you could say, hey, Carroll University wants to do a blood drive and challenge Alverno. And a lot of reasons that people can sponsor blood drives.
So if I want to sponsor a blood drive, if I want to give blood, if I want to just give a donation, if I want to volunteer, how do I contact the American Red Cross?
Real simple. I've been here 6 years, so wait, I got to look at my notes because I don't remember this. Just kidding. 1-800-RED-CROSS.
That's an original number.
Red Cross. So that is our main website and phone number.
Right.
And you can go to that, call that phone number, or go to redcross.org. Redcross.org. You can sign up to be a volunteer. You can sign up to donate blood. It'll direct you to our blood donation site. You can surely make a donation. 1-800-RED-CROSS to call us. www.redcross.org to sign up.
Now, if I want my money to go directly to the Los Angeles fires, how do I do that?
So when you go online to make a donation or when you call us, you will have the opportunity to direct where your funds go.
Okay.
I will say that the best donation is one that has no restrictions on it because then we can use it wherever it's needed most.
Right.
But, there are people that have some personal reasons and an affinity to Southern California. We've designated the California Wildfires. That's a designation. Similar to Hurricane Helene. So you can give $100 to California Wildfires, and all of those funds go to the affected area. And I will add that 90 is a big number for us at the Red Cross. I said earlier that 90% of our workforce is volunteer. 90 cents on every dollar goes toward the mission.
Wow.
So we're not using these dollars to fund my salary and a whole bunch of fancy buildings. 90 cents on every dollar goes towards helping people.
If there's one thing you want people to know about the American Red Cross, of southeastern Wisconsin, what is it you would want them to know?
Boy, I would want people to know that we are here to serve, and wherever you're listening in right now, we're here to serve in your community 24/7. We have people trained, compassionate, and loving individuals who will help you if you're impacted by fire, flood, a number of other things. And if it's something we can't do, we are still going to try to help you find a pathway. And so we want people to call us day or night if you need help. But we also want people to think about joining us. Be one of those volunteers. You never know when you may be helping someone that lives around the corner from you.
All right. Mark Thomas, he is the president and CEO of the American Red Cross of southeastern Wisconsin. Thank you for being here. You know, when I hit you up last week, I was like, I wonder if he's in town. Let me. I'm traveling. I was like,
I'm always in town for you, Dr. Ken. I'll fly back on the first flight if I have to, just to get back. It's always a pleasure being here.
You try. Okay.
It's always a pleasure being here.
You did pretty good with that one because that was a stretch. I'm just saying. I mean.
People know that, sometimes you stretch things just a tad.
That's my job, though.
Yeah. Entertainer. Right. Cedric the entertainer.
I try to explain to people it's entertainment, right? So if I agree with you all the time on every single thing you say, you only need one of us.
The one thing I know is when I come here, I'm going to get some great questions, and you will challenge something that I say. So I'm always ready and willing to deal with that challenge.
But I'm just paying you back for them 3 years that I what? Wait, what? No. Hey, Ken, you got to do that. And then you got to do that. Oh, and by the way, this committee, somebody called me and said, hey, I heard you used to be on this committee. I was like, wow, they got you? Yep. Oh, okay. But,
keep up the good work because you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
And I know your listening audience enjoys. I enjoy listening to you whenever I have an opportunity to do it. So,
but I have those organizations in my mind that are just important, that are legacy organizations that are going to be here long after both of us are gone, doing the things that they do. So I want to say thank you for the great work you and your organization do.
I'll take that thanks on behalf of all the staff and volunteers. We've been doing it for 150 years, and they'll be here much longer than I will be.
And you don't look a day over 100.
There you go.
Hey, Truth Nation, the home of Milwaukee Black Talk, is raising the bar. Tap into the truth on Monday, January 20th for the debut of our new shows. You get a drop of juice every morning with Jammin' with Juice. Carrie and Ben from 7 a.m. till 9. And then at noon to 1, the debut of Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 101.7 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. From 409, common sense is subjective. You can't blame immigrants. One could complain about it being a jail placed in the neighborhood, and that is off-putting to say the least. Who cares? This is why it's not going into a predominantly white neighborhood, and legal or not, families torn can be tragic. It's only going to take people who commit crimes. Do you understand that? People who commit crimes should go to jail. If you're not a citizen, you should go home. Like, why is that an issue? And why is it why is it that when you don't like something, you go immediately to children and family? Do we ever blame the person that commits the crime that they should not have done and harms either someone else or another citizen from here? Like, why is that okay? Like, why do you have so much empathy and sympathy for people who are criminals who harm people? Like, what is that? I don't understand that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, before I get to my top 5 at 5, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, what I'm trying to understand with Trump. He's kicking off all this chaos, and he got so many things against immigrants. Yet his whole bloodline
is not against immigrants. It's not against immigrants. It's against people who are here illegally that commit a crime.
But his mother, his father.
We ain't talking about his mother and his father. That ain't got nothing to do with it. We're not talking about people that came here illegally. I'm sorry. We're talking about people who came here illegally, not legally.
They came illegally too.
Prove it. I'm not taking up for Trump, but prove it. How did they come here illegally? What's your source?
Well, let me see.
Where'd you get it?
He ran from what?
Where's your source? Show me your source. Tell me your source.
Well, I have to get all that, but it should be an integrity issue. Just because you're white and you're dumb.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, don't face the facts. Be like everybody else.
How's it a fact when you can't prove it? I'm asking you to prove something you're saying. Oh.
Say what?
I said, okay.
Oh, you just want to take up for him because he's white. Dr. Ken.
First of all, don't insult me by saying something stupid. I just want to take up for him because he's white. Really? Goodbye. I'll sit up here and say, oh, you want to take up for him because he's white. That's a stupid statement. You're the one that said something. I'm simply asking you to show me where you got it. I could read it, and if they did, I'll be like, wow, you're right. But you're going to accuse me of, oh, you're only doing it because he's white. Ridiculous. So y'all done got me so upset and mad, I'm done. I ain't talking to him no more. Let me go through my top 5 and 5. I'll tell you. You can't hold me to the same standard. Let me rephrase that before I say something wrong. You can't hold me to a standard you're not willing to be held to. Right? So if you make me come up with a source, why can't you? If you challenge me, I just simply ask you, where you get it from? It's a fact. That's not good enough. Tell me where you got it from. Oh, I went to this website and read it here. Okay, let me go there. Oh, wow, you're telling the truth. You're absolutely right. I was wrong. There you go. But instead, we just call me out. Anyway, Brian, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. May as well talk to you today, too. What's going on?
Yeah, it's going to be an intelligent deportation. The detention centers are being built so they can decipher whether or not the immigrants that are here illegally are worth saving and worth keeping. The ones that are in jail, those are the ones that are going to be deported first.
Correct.
The detention centers are just for weeding out and finding out if the people are salvageable. They are not going to take people out of jobs. They are not going to take people that have families, children in the system. That's not going to happen. No way. The type of deportation Trump is going to pull off is going to be legendary. It's probably going to be one of the most effective and best deportation ideas, as Tory Lowe was saying.
I doubt if it's going to be as robust as people say, because they just don't have enough people in Homeland Security. No. Number two, local law enforcement can't do it. And so I think if people commit significant crimes, that will be the trigger for them to be deported if they're illegal.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't have the manpower to do that in the first place. So I don't know why these people are going off the beam, losing their minds because of somebody using the name ICE.
Well,
the detention centers are basically just for weeding out salvageable and making sure people have families and jobs, and those people are going to go right back into their communities. We don't, like you just said before, we've been saying, we don't have the manpower nor the motivation to give it to people we need.
Right.
Peace.
All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. Lana Banana.
Hello, how you doing? You feel like talking to me tonight?
I'm having a great time. How are you?
Okay, good. I'm fine, thank you. I wanted to say hi to Mark, but that's all right. Me and my mama wanted to say hi to Mark, but that's all right another time. But, yeah, I think they're not saying for the Red Cross to help the ones who kill. I think they're talking about to come when they're like mass casualties, when there's been like a major shooting.
Correct.
In the black neighborhood, if the Red Cross can come.
Or any neighborhood,
the casualties. Yep. Right. So it's like, were there any black neighborhoods included? I think that's what they was trying to say with the Red Cross. It is, but it wasn't mentioned. But black neighborhoods are included with Red Cross too. With the
And there was a.
Am I correct? I mean, I don't know.
Well, there's a, and I can't remember the name of the neighborhood, Aladina or Aladima, wherever. I forget. Hang on. Let me do this. I know how to look it up. Let's see. To California Fire. Beyonce. She donated money, but I'm trying to remember because she donated her money to a specific neighborhood that was a predominantly black neighborhood in Los Angeles for the displaced people. And so, yeah. It's Aladina. Okay. Is it Aladina? I think it's Aladina, California, or something like that. Altadena. It's Altadena. Altadena.
Altadena.
Yep, Altadena.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they lost businesses, they lost homes, they lost everything, and that was supposed to be, if I recall, a middle class, upper middle class black neighborhood in Los Angeles County. And they said that a lot of people just lost house after house, pets, everything. So.
Yeah, and I also want to add to it that Red Cross don't limit themselves to specific.
Correct.
They include everybody.
Correct. It's not about.
I just want to let everybody know that.
Right.
Because they don't prejudge, because like Mark said, they don't ask any questions because they don't prejudge anybody. They help everybody, and they're not limited to nowhere because they're not restricted to just Wisconsin or anywhere in Wisconsin. It's all Wisconsin, nationwide. So I just want to put that out there.
Because it's about humanity. It's about helping people,
right,
and keep them safe and secure, regardless of whether you're an immigrant or an illegal immigrant or an American citizen or whatever race, whatever creed, whatever religion. When you're in need, there has to be somebody there to help. Yep.
We all are people. Bottom line, we all are people.
Well, thank you much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. All right, peace.
Bye. Peace. Vincent, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, Dr. Ken. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Like half of the month is over, but this is the first time I talk to you. So
I claimed the entire month, and people told me I couldn't claim the month, that once New Year's... Stop shaking your head, Jason. Vincent, I'm like you. Thank you, Vincent. I claimed the entire month and say New Year's. Thank you.
Exactly.
Wrong with you.
I was just calling because I wanted to defend the alderwoman from the 9th District because I think she's correct. I think she needed to be informed about this facility being put in her district.
Right.
At least a little common courtesy, at least so she would know exactly what's going on, so she can inform her constituents that when they see this building going up with all this whatever's going up around it, people are going to have questions. And if she says, "Well, I don't know what's going on there," then they would think that, hey, what we have you for?
Well, it sounds like they knew that it was going. They just didn't know that they just moved ahead with it and they didn't have to bother to check. They made the assumption that they had to check with what was going on and all that, and they didn't have to. And so they were kind of caught by surprise.
Well, the thing is I think the point is when she made her statement, she was upset that she wasn't informed. She said she wasn't informed about this facility going.
But she doesn't have to be informed. But she doesn't have to be informed.
No, she doesn't. If the federal government wants to come in and drop a missile silo over in the old Northridge, then the fact is they could do that. But
no. That would be different because they own
in that district.
That would be different because they would have to own it. And there'd have to be the ability for them to override. I get what she's saying. I feel it. But to raise it to this level, I mean, they basically said Do you think it? Well, let me ask you this: do you think it would have been better if she worked towards figuring out how her district could work with them to get jobs or construction jobs or something?
Oh, certainly. But the point is that comes in the initial thing. Hey, we're going to build this. We're going to put this facility in your community.
Right.
How can and she could say, well, okay, well, how are my constituents are going to benefit from this? Can we get jobs in there? Can we do this? But once you decide, the federal government decides just to drop it right in the middle of your district, and then say, hey, tough luck. Then you got to come afterwards and say, and then negotiate with the federal government about what you can do. So no, I think the initial point that she made is that they should have been informed about what was going on, and I think it was because she was upset about is that when they the city and the state decided to put that youth facility in the 9th district, and they didn't even have any automatic representation at the time. People were running for the particular job, and they decided to drop that in the middle of her district. And so what I'm saying is, I think a little common courtesy would have helped. I think it would have. Sure. I think she would have been more satisfied, so she could at least explain to her constituents what's going on in that particular area.
But didn't she already know?
I agree with it.
Yeah, well, I to a point I agree, but didn't she already know that there was an exemption? Like that was already known. They have an exemption. They can do what they want to do. They're exercising a federal exemption, allowing the agency to avoid city approval to modify a building. It's not like they're rebuilding a building. It's not like they're doing it. And it's on Lake Park Drive and Park Place. So it's not like it's in the middle of the hood. It's not like it's in the middle of the hood.
Yeah, I know. It's more or less over in the industrial district over there.
Right.
And because I used to live over there a couple of years ago, but anyway, industrial district over there. And but the point is, I just think a little common courtesy, because I guarantee you, if they was going to drop this in the middle of Brookfield, Waukesha County, I guess they would have gave them more indifference and would have told them exactly what was going on before they dropped something like this in the middle of their district.
Yep.
And so I think that's all she was asking for. It's just a little heads up when you decide to do these things, so maybe she could make some arrangements or some things that help her out, her constituents.
That's true. That I agree with.
All right.
Take care, brother.
Have a good evening.
All right.
Bye.
See, when you talk all nice and normal and trying to hit me on the YouTube line, trashing me on the YouTube. Truth hurts, Dr. Ken. Like what truth? You didn't prove to me that it was true. Help me out. We'll put detention centers in Mar-a-Lago. You just don't like Trump. Say that. But don't like you're attaching things and connecting stuff that's like, what are you connecting? And that's what I'm asking. So I don't know. I'll beat you up and holler at you next time, Al. Or Al will beat me up and holler at me next time. Either way. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
I'ma still say it. I'ma still talk about it from CBS 58. Milwaukee alderwoman says the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is looking into opening an ICE detention center on the Northwest side. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and local groups that work with immigration communities warn it could be a large facility, and they say they're concerned. According to the Milwaukee alderwoman, Larissa Taylor, ICE is looking to modify a building on the city's northwest side so that it can be used to transport prisoners to and from the facility. And the building is currently an empty warehouse park on Lake Park Drive near I-41 and Bradley Road on the city's northwest corner. Built in 1989 and was sold this past October for $2.5 million. And so I get where she's coming from. And she said, we do not support the Department of Homeland Security in their decision to move into our district. Why? Because you work closely with immigrants. Well, then have that conversation. But don't just shut it down because you would disagree with it, or your politics say you should always disagree with it, or I don't know. Think it through. Think it through. Somebody on Talking Text Line said, it's Trump's wife that was illegal. So, okay. Can you show me where it says that? So let me check. Okay. See, because I like to check stuff. Well, so they had a story. They had a story in visalaw.com. And somebody said, my take on the AP Associated Press story on Melania's illegal work in the U.S. Associated Press reported that Melania Trump accepted 10 modeling jobs in the U.S. after entering on a tourist visa in 96. Melania Trump, through her lawyer, claims she began working on an H-1B status on October 18th, 1996. What does this mean? Well, first, it confirms what many lawyers, including myself, were noting last spring when Politico, Univision, and other news outlets initially questioned her immigration history. The story largely quieted after the Trump's current immigration lawyer, Michael Wiles, at the time, insisted that he had reviewed Melania's immigration documents and her history and assured the public that she had always complied with the law. Melania had also promised at the time to hold a press conference and release documents proving she always maintained her immigration status. However, no documents were ever released, and a few questions were asked after this. To be honest, I thought journalists had given up too quickly on the story, and so they're asking, I'm trying to get to the end of it. Fourth, we have no idea how Melania converted to permanent residency, but she got it. In 2000, she filed for a green card, and in the EB1 category, no evidence of this has ever been produced. And Wiles, the lawyer, had earlier indicated Melania got the green card through an earlier marriage, but this is still a mystery. But Melania would have been required to list her work history for the prior 5 years. So if she failed to list the illegal work, she potentially engaged in visa fraud, and USCIS would reopen both her green card and subsequent citizenship application and potentially reverse it. So it went on and on and on. All in all, now is the AP has blown a hole in Melania's immigration story, and because the Trumps never provided the documents despite their promise to do so, it's really too late to address this before the election. The Trumps have only themselves to blame. So I guess somebody needs to do a background story to find out, did she actually come here illegally? Right? Did she come here illegally? So Melania might be illegal. Who knows? Maybe ICE will get her and lock her up. Right? It's only fair. That's how the system works. And if she commits a crime, she should definitely get booted out of here.
Number 4.
I don't know if you heard this, WISN.com. Milwaukee officials, health officials, and school administrators are responding after discovering, get this, lead-based paint at Golda Meir Lower Campus following a confirmed case of childhood lead poisoning. Sean Kane, Milwaukee Public Schools Senior Director of the Department of Facilities and Maintenance Services, said, we treat these serious matters very, very urgently. Milwaukee Health Department told WISN 12, where this story comes from, that it had identified the case and traced the likely source to lead-based paint found in a basement bathroom at the school. Milwaukee Public School Facilities and Maintenance Department is working with health officials to address the situation. They said last week we were notified that we had a student who had elevated blood levels with lead. Health Department officials said the investigation started in November. They notified us last week about the potential exposure in the school, Tyler Weber, Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health for the Health Department, said. And Golda Meir, Lower Campus, has students in grades 3 through 5. And so the affected building is part of their MPS's aging infrastructure, and most district buildings were constructed before 1980. The average age, get this, I didn't know this, the average age of an MPS building, what do you think it is? What do you think the average age of a building is?
I'll say about like 60 years.
82 years. So they regularly maintain these historic structures through encapsulation, protective barriers, removal of lead-based materials when necessary. Wouldn't you think you would do that to all the schools? Okay, all right. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm getting beside myself. Wouldn't you think you would go through all the schools and get rid of it? I'm just saying.
Number 3.
Natural grocers have teamed up with the Jack and Jill of America Foundation to launch an annual fundraiser to commemorate the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day. On January 13th, Natural Foods announced an in-store fundraising campaign to support the Jack and Jill of America Foundation, scheduled for January 20th. So that's coming up, 2025, in honor of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. During the campaign, customers can make additional donations at the register in increments of $1, $5, or $10, and the company will also donate a portion of sales from its stores nationwide to raise $45,000 or more for the Jack and Jill Foundation College Graduation Assistance Program, or the GAP Fund. So if you're familiar with that and you know of these stores, make sure you do that. In addition, Natural Grocers has committed to donating 1% of sales from its 167 stores to support historically black colleges and university students in achieving their academic goals. The GAP Fund, which provides scholarships to cover tuition expenses for students attending HBCUs, play a key role in this initiative. And so taking on the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the fundraiser honors the civil rights leader's legacy of social justice, education, and of course, having graduated from Morehouse, his connection as a HBCU alum. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Number 2.
From the NewYorkPost.com, if you remember the Blues Brothers, like the original movie, The Blues Brothers? Actress and entertainer that was featured in the 1980 Blues Brothers movie has died as a result of the Los Angeles fires. Delise Curry, who also appeared in films such as The Ten Commandments, Lady Sings the Blues, died in the Eden fire. She was 95 years old. Just before 6 p.m. on this past Sunday, the L.A. County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed to her family that the former actress' remains were found at her burned-down home. That's according to ABC 7 Los Angeles. Known to her loved ones as Mama D, Curry was last seen on Tuesday by her granddaughter, Delise Kelly, dropped her off around midnight at her house in Altadena, California, the area that would be hardest hit by the Eden fire. Kelly, who was Curry's part-time caregiver, told ABC 7 Los Angeles that her grandmother was exhausted when she brought her home, having spent all day at a local hospital. I was receiving a text earlier that night notifying her that the power went out at Carrie's house. She raced to check on her grandmother, but of course, by the time she reached the neighborhood, it was too late. So our heart goes out to 95-year-old actress from the Blues Brothers. Now, I know some of y'all not old enough to remember what the Blues Brothers was. That's okay. But you got to go see the movie because it was an absolutely great movie. Let's go see the movie. Just go see the movie.
Number 1.
So I talked about this a little before, so I thought I'd kind of go back into it. From Forbes.com. So our phones know where we are. They know where we've been. The problem is they have a nasty habit of sharing that information with other people, and then stuff pops up on your phone. And the latest location tracking nightmare to hit phone users shows the threat remains despite new built-in protections built into iPhones and Androids. The National Security Agency has warned users how to stop this sensitive tracking, and you got to make the change. As first reported by 404 Media, hackers have compromised location aggregators, Gravy Analytics, stealing customer lists, information on the broader industry, and even location data harvested from smartphones which show people's precise movements. This is then dumped into a trove of sensitive information, you ready? In the public domain. So you might get contacted and say, hey, if you don't want somebody to know that you at such and such and such a house, you can pay me some money. The data is harvested from apps rather than the phones themselves. Each time you see a targeted ad, your personal information is exposed to thousands of advertisers and data brokers through a process called RTB, real-time bidding. The process does more than deliver ads. It fuels government surveillance, poses national security risks, and gives data brokers easy access to your online activity. Real-time bidding might be the most privacy-invasive surveillance you have ever not heard of. It hijacks your phone and it spies on your location. So you might think you having issues with TikTok, Tinder, Grindr, Candy Crush, Temple Run, Subway Surfers, Harry Potter, Puzzles and Spells, Move It, My Period Calendar and Tracker, a period tracking app with more than 10 million downloads, popular fitness app MyFitnessPal, Tumblr, Yahoo's email client, Microsoft 365 Office app, flight tracker, religious focus such as Muslim prayer and Christian Bible apps, pregnancy trackers. So it goes on and on and on. You have given away so much of your life that there's nothing that's private anymore.
Dr. Ken, I was just playing Subway Surfer before the show started. We got Microsoft Office 365. I use that for everything. Every app not every app, but a lot of them apps we all got. So it's over. They know everything about us.
Yeah, but they always knew that.
Yes, this is
always
crazy.
knew that.
So do we have any privacy?
No.
Goodness.
That's why I tell you, get a VPN, put on your phone, and when you're not using it, turn it off.
I gotta get a VPN.
Because you're just giving away everything. I clear my cookies off my, I actually got I got a VPN, a virtual privacy network, and I got a app called Firefox Focus. So the whole Firefox thing won't let people track you, and it also won't let, when you use it, as soon as you close it, it deletes everything.
I gotta get that.
Get it. Firefox Focus. We need to get Concordia back in here to talk about the computer science and how to keep your phone safe. Because I'm getting to the point, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. Watch this. You ready? I'm going to go get one. Y'all going to be mad, though. I'm getting me a flip phone.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee on January 20th for the 28th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 8 a.m. Come together as a community to reflect on Dr. King's powerful legacy, celebrate the creativity of our youth, and be inspired by moving performances and speakers. This will be a day of inspiration, connection, and service, one you won't want to miss. For more information, visit ymcamke.org/MLK. Can't wait to see you there.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom, it's a right to have a child, it's a right to not have children, and this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's your fault. You let all them phone calls in, and you let Al and all them other people call, and Lana Banana and Vincent and all them people call and holler at me and beat me up. Al was beating me up. Did you see that? Beat me up. Because, you know, when Al get all upset and mad, start hollering, I got to let him go. I want him to say something wrong on the air. So I'll be like, hey, Al. Al said, the truth hurts, Dr. Ken. What do I care if Melania Trump or Donald himself is not, it's too late. He was born here. Okay, we're done. You still my brother. Come on, dude. Then Papa Bell said, thanks for checking. I was just checking. Mariam said, even VPNs have its limitations too. Yes, they do. Stay off your phone, get rid of certain apps, or probably just don't have any apps on your phone at all, and then you won't have any trouble. Use your phone to do what? Can millennials and Gen Z actually like use a phone and call people? Because y'all seem to only know how to text people.
I like text or FaceTime.
Nobody asked you. I said.
I don't like phone calls.
I said, why? Because then you don't get the story right. Well, you know, like FaceTiming is the same as calling, so I don't really get that.
I'd rather see, you know, it feel like
I don't want to look at your ugly face. Well, I don't look at your ugly face. You don't look at my ugly face.
Not about it, just, you know, like better connection. You know, we understand the facial expression, all of that.
Garbage. Cry babies. Always want everything. When my microphone cuts off, that means he was mad at me. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. 833-212-1017 is the number. Leon Jr. said one could complain about it being a jail place in a neighborhood that's off-putting. I read that earlier. That's why it's not going to be a predominantly white neighborhood. Well, that area near I-41 in Bradley, I don't think it's all black, is it? I don't think so. It's an industrial area. So, anyway. Dr. Ken, free country for the most part. You can say Happy New Year for the entire month of January unless you were in a coma most of the month or have a condition. Smith, stop. It's Doc B. Today, January 15th, is it, and that's pushing it. That you're cut off in a civilized. Okay, so what are you saying? I'm uncivilized? Is that what you're saying? But no, I don't think he's saying that, but he's just being, you know. And at no time, unless you're talking about plural years, is it New Year's? It's Happy New Year, sir. Number one in your top 5. I'll let myself out. Man, get out of here. That was Doc B, y'all. Get out of here. Beat it, Doc B. Beat it. All of January is Happy New Year's. If you disagree, I don't care. I am going to do what? Okay, put your hand down. This is my show. Put your hand. Look, that's all I saw is the hand be like, no. Was that a no?
Stop saying Happy New Year. It's
Happy
no
New
more.
Year. Dude, you don't tell me what to say on my show.
It's no more, Dr. King.
It's my show. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Look, that's all I got. That's all I got. All right, tell the truth. First 5 callers. Should I continue to say Happy New Year or no? Yes or no? Hit me on the talk and text line. 833-212-1017 is the number. You can go to the YouTube chat and you can stream and watch us on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of the show. You can do it that way. Or you can go on Instagram at Dr. Ken's Truth. It hit me there. But either way, yes or no? Happy New Year until for the entire month of January is yes. No is after a certain time, you should stop saying it no matter what. That's all I'm saying. Y'all mean. 833-212-1017 is the number. And the other reason I should be able to do is because I done had more New Year's than you.
That's true.
That's all I got. Like, I got no other argument. That and this my show. Like, other than that, it's like I lose at every turn. It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You ready? Happy New Year. Got it? That means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affect disorder. Plenty of gray skies, frigid days on the horizon when we just want to snuggle up and be warm at home. And that's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. They're inviting doors, welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, outstanding energy-efficient windows, keeping out the cold. And Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. So you might want to celebrate the new year, all of January through the 31st. Say Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So no matter what anybody tells you, Pella knows, I know, that it's New Year's till January 31st. But you got to hurry. You only have till then to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.com. When we come back, we got Talk and Text Line. We got Major Mike right here on Truth in the Afternoon.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
As a third grader, it is my job to show the younger students how to have a peaceful classroom. When we're on the playground or around the school and I see someone being mean, I ask them if they are okay. Because sometimes there's a reason why they're being mean. If someone hits you, don't hit back. Find out why and try to make them feel better. And we work together to make things right. When I am understanding and helpful, I can bring peace to my school. In my neighborhood, we work towards peace by greeting each other kindly. Because if you show kindness to others, they will show kindness to you. When you're out and about, say good morning and always use nice words too. Because if you bring peace, then others will follow. As important as kindness and peace are in how we treat others each day, Dr. King stood for much more. He once said, God has left enough in this world for all his children to have the basic necessities of life. God never intended for some of his children to live in inordinate, superfluous, and wealth, while others lived in abject, deadening poverty. He opposed violence in all its forms, racism, bigotry, poverty, and greed. We must work together to make Dr. King's dream a reality, because together we can all achieve world peace.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest and pleased to share these extraordinary student speeches with you.
Well, things are backing up on 41 southbound. We've got a crash right at Burleigh off on the right shoulder. Slowdowns coming back in from Silver Spring down to that point. Northbound, we've got backups all the way from Blue Mound Road all the way up past Burleigh. Delays eastbound 94 coming in from 92nd Street all the way through to 35th. The westbound side's heavy from 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road. And then 43, got a little bit of a backup there. Southbound from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high rise to about Lapham. The northbound side's backing up past Fond du Lac Avenue all the way past north to Sutter Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Snow showers, less than an inch of accumulation. It'll be breezy with a low of 20. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 36. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks got a bounce-back win last night as they dominate the Kings wire-to-wire for the 130-115 victory.
18-point lead for the Bucks again. Giannis the other way. Spins around his man. Drives in and punishes the rim as he punches it through with a left-hand jam.
Giannis finishing the game with 33 points, 11 boards, and 13 assists as the Bucks, with the win, improving to 21-17. They'll turn right around and welcome in the Orlando Magic tonight. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Over to college hoops, where the 7th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles held on late over DePaul for the 85-83 win. They'll return back home Saturday to host Xavier. And sticking with college hoops, the 24th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers also squeaking out a victory. This one over Ohio State by a final of 70-68. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Major Mike, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Major Mike.
Hey, Dr. Ken, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, sir. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I did say this. All right, then, brother. I said this on Friday. Now, you know I'm still hurting from the election, goofing around with you, Global. That's okay. The point is what you said just now. Yeah, today is what, Founders Day? I think my daughter said it's Founders Day.
Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Day.
Correct.
Yes, sir. And some. Why, if we're waiting for Trump to get inaugurated, whatever, soon, why wouldn't now through January 31st, because of today, not just because of history, but that would be a day that we would say, Happy New Year, because it's a new year. This is going to be a brand new opportunity for others and, regretfully for some, like me. I'm just here to say I told you so.
Told me what?
Told me what? You know what I'm saying? Come on, okay, there you go. Now, see this? Now we're off to a good year. You know what I'm talking about, man.
What?
Are you trying to tell me that this new administration, everything's going to bring in something new for the new year? Are you saying that, Dr. Ken?
When did I say that?
When did I say that? You didn't say it exactly, but You know what I'm saying?
So I really don't know what you're saying because it sounds like you're making an assumption that I said something. And I did.
Let's not make an assumption. Let's just say Happy New Year to Ken. When you get on the subject, I promise you, I come for you. Because your opinions and mine, they're the same, but they're also opposing.
Well, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it, Major Mike. 833-212-1017. We got one more break, don't we? Is this the last one, or we got another one, and then we got the last one, and then we got the other one? I'm losing my mind.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your washing machine not quite getting the job done the way you expected? Running your dryer over and over because it is taking forever to dry your clothes? Be frustrated no more because Create Suds Laundromat in Milwaukee can get rid of all your washing and drying headaches. They offer new big load washers and dryers to reduce your cleaning time and even have free Wi-Fi for customers. Stop battling with stubborn stains and piles of laundry and visit Create Suds Laundromat. They are open every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit ANECPR.com to get certified today. That's ANECPR.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The analysis is coming up next, and then the Tori Lowe Show, and on and on and on, because it's Wednesday evening. I'm excited about next week. Ben and Carrie are going to be having their show in the morning, and Sherwin Hughes and Kyle Wallace and Tori Lowe, and then me, and then, well, we don't know, but we're working on a Monday night jam for you with me and DT, so it's just going to be great. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. What up, Glenn? What you doing back there? What you trying to hide behind all the monitors and stuff? You know, when he first got here, he kept moving, and I was getting distracted. I was like, move! Get out the way! And he was like, forget you, man. I'm sitting here, and I'm gangstering this thing. And he'll end up being a great producer. But don't tell him that, because, you know, his head might get big and stuff. Then he'll be smiling like Jason and all that. So, yeah. Hey, God bless. Take care. Appreciate you. I'm out.